Hi, I'm Matt Drake, and this is Experience CTN, where we're going to learn more about CTN's volunteers and producers who have supported community media over the past years. I'm here with Pattie Stanley with the AAWA. How are you doing?
I'm doing real good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, thank you. So the AAWA, that's the Ann Arbor's Women's Artists.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's a group of artists, which can include also men now, that work in the community, and we work towards inspiring other artists and improving artwork and having a higher degree of artists. There's approximately 300 of them, of us currently, and there's quite a few men and students. They have a special rate, so you have to be 18, and you have an opportunity to hang in non-juried and have your work juried by, I guess you would call them professional artists and teachers and instructors who understand and can critique your work so you know where you're at.
So what do you mean juried? I'm not a big
Juried
artist.
means that, well, currently we've got a winter and spring, and you submit your work, and a person of high caliber and understanding of artistic critiquing and caliber, I don't know what the right word would be, judges the work for the show, and only so many pieces make it. And then we have best work, and then, you know, what they think is the best work, the quality. There's different prizes for that, and people's choice and stuff. And you get a little accolades for your work that you've worked hard before and recognized for.
Okay, so you guys have like a show you put on, or is it
We have like 3 shows a year.
3 shows a year?
And yeah, there's Riverside's Art. I don't know if we're still doing it, but we were doing the Great Lakes show. I was in 2 of those in the past, where artists from 8 states submit work.
Wow.
And they get thinned out for 170, 180 pieces, you know, and then then they're judged for the quality of their work, their dimension, their subject matter, all the good stuff that goes that I have no idea. I just put the paint down there and I hope it looks good. I like it and I hope someone else does too. So
Yeah. So how long have you been painting your whole life?
Well, I've sketched and drawn for most of my life since I was a little kid. My grandfather would sharpen my pencils back up in the hills with his little knife and tell me not to waste school paper. That when I was a little kid. So I've drawn always, but life happens and you get involved. But I always did a little painting here and there and worked for GM full time. And then over the years I started painting with acrylic, and I would give them away and didn't realize that my work was actually very good. I was just had my little spot.
Yeah.
So I got more involved. I went to the art show or the art fair here in Ann Arbor in 2000. I said, gee, $2,500 for that. That's interesting. I threw that away. You know, something which I wasn't satisfied with. And I said, I mean to get involved in an area and find out what I'm doing so I can appreciate my own. So I just kind of, after I retired, I went to school. And while I was in school at Washington, I joined the art club, and the art club got me to Ann Arbor Women's Artists, and here we are today.
Right. So what do you do at the art club, or do you have a chair position?
Oh, at the art club I'm no longer involved because I'm no longer a student at Washington. I graduated.
At
Graduated.
At the AAWA, do you have a chair
I'm chair of the CTN venue here.
Okay.
And I contact artists and ask them to submit work. And it's a lot of work for the artists. It's work for me to try to get almost 50 pieces here. This is a large venue. Right. But it's a lot of work for, say, you have an artist that has 10 pieces. They have to gather up, get their information, package up their artwork, and bring it in and hang it. And then, of course, they have to take it down, too. They're fully responsible for their work. And what I do is try to get enough people together for a show so the CTN has their walls full.
Oh, I know. It's great. I love coming in here, and there's, you know, the whole main corridor. It's just, you know, it's full of artwork, and then it changes every couple months?
We're going to every 2 months now.
Every 2 months?
We were doing 3 months, but some of the artists had mentioned something about like 3 months is a long time to hang your work. If there's a show coming up, they would like their work available.
Right.
And if they're committed to a venue, then they can't remove their art to the end of the to that venue's time period.
Right.
So we switched it to 2 months, and we have some beautiful work. We even have some award-winning. We talked about juried work.
Right.
Joe's work here. His
wow.
path. He won a first place at a show here.
Wow.
In Ann Arbor. So it's like these really good work and high quality work. It's not just, and even the new artists that come in, this is really good for a new artist to get some experience on how to present their work, what to do, and the process that you have to go through. In Ann Arbor Women's Artists Group, we're all here to help each other.
So say I'm an artist. I'm not an artist at all. I can't draw.
Just to say,
but I'm an artist now.
Okay, yeah.
So I have some paintings. I come to you guys. What happens next?
Well, to hang with Ann Arbor Women's Artists Group, you have to join, become a member.
Okay.
So there's a fee for that, and it's only $40. And if you're a student, I'm pretty sure it's a lot less. I think it's like 20.
I think it's like 15.
15 or $20. Packet. If you're a full-time student,
20.
Only have to be carrying 12 credits.
Right.
And you can hang in any of the non-juried, and you can submit your work to the juried ones, and then you get an understanding of how it works overall through the state. Whether you can submit work to a gallery in Tecumseh. You don't have to be an Ann Arbor Women's Artist person to submit your work to the galleries in Tecumseh, but you have the experience that can help you with the different venues that are all over the country. You have the opportunity and the experience to take that with you, because sometimes you can be rejected from a juried show just because of the way you matted. You weren't supposed to mat. They don't want anything taken away from the art. So if you have a painting that's matted on green and in a yellow frame and whatever, the work could be the fabulous piece that you've ever done, and probably better than anyone's hanging there, but the way it was presented was rejected.
Okay.
So there's a lot more little nuances that goes with presenting your work professionally and to be recognized. And in the non-juried forums, all we want you to do is no nudes. And you have to have wire hangers, and just the little things that build.
So is Ann Arbor's non-juried then?
CTN is not.
CTN's
non-juried.
Okay.
So anyone who has produced any work, it is an Ann Arbor Women's Artist member, may submit work to be hung here for the duration of the venue, whether depending on what time. We've got one coming up in February. I've already put a word out. I need people on February 6th.
February 6th?
February 6th.
All right.
We're going to switch this show out for a new show, and we need new work.
Right. So would CTN be? I mean, that'd be a good place for a starting artist, or for what kind of artists do you look for to put in here?
People who enjoy their own work. The caliber of the work that we've had in here is unbelievable. Some of it is just past museum beautiful.
It's phenomenal. I love it.
It is just, I'm good, but no. These people are just fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Their work is just, they flow, their depth, their color, their presentation, and with the expression of what they want to tell you just jumps out at you. And that's professionalism at the highest quality. Yeah. And it's nice to get a nice something like that, but it's also good to, if you are just starting and there's some work here that I seen, and I said, oh, that's nice, and I wasn't I don't know because I can't judge it, and I wasn't particularly impressed with it. This work went on to win awards at another show. Wow. So your work, all work is important.
Yeah. And
if you enjoy your work and you're pleased with what you've done, you need to show it.
Yeah.
And you need people to see it.
Absolutely.
And maybe somebody might even buy it, put it in their home.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we have a quick little video. It's kind of about the AAWA, kind of a little instructional video. So we'll take a quick look at that, okay?
Okay.
I'm Patricia Davenport, and I'm Vice President of Ann Arbor Women Artists, along with Kathy Heiner. Our facility is here at 4844 West Jackson Road in Ann Arbor.
And I'm in charge of the non-juried venues where women can sign up at any of our venues to hang their art. We have 9 or 10 venues. We do Moonwinks Cafe, the 3 Sweetwaters in downtown Ann Arbor, one on Plymouth Road.
We have a facility now, and right now we're doing a live drawing class. We run that every week, so artists can come and draw from a live model. And then we also offer workshops.
Plus, if you're a member, you have the opportunity to hold a workshop, and especially if you're new at doing workshop, this is a great way to get your feet wet.
We also have programs monthly, and we try to get speakers in that are, interesting to most of the artists.
I just happened to come across an article about the last session they had of life drawing.
So that was nice. Tell me what's going on there.
Well, we're talking about, there's different classes that are offered, life drawing classes, different, it can be watercolor, it can be pencil, it can be paint, and sometimes we get together and just do artsy stuff. We bring in cards and bring in paste and glue, just like any, and have a little card party.
Yeah.
And create that way. I also seen Miss Campbell there, and she's a life coach, and she's also a member of Ann Arbor Women's Artists Group, which is I've employed her and used her, and she's a sweetheart, and she does tell you how you can help yourself.
Right.
And that's all part of the sisterhood or the group. Actually, there is fellas, and poor guys. There's some great guys, but it started in 1951 where there was no women to have art.
Really?
Women, we just take so much for granted.
Yeah.
But women didn't have. They had to push their way into local artist venues and stuff like that, so they started their own.
Wow.
And that's the year I was born. Let's get a concept on how long ago that was. But that was in '51, and since it's grown into a much more encompassing and welcoming venue, and we do have quite a few men, but there you go. When you do a nonprofit and you take the name, you kind of have to stay with it.
Right, right. So I'm not a member right now, but I want to take a class. Can I do that, or do I have to be a member?
If you're going to take a class at Ann Arbor Women's Artists, where we're at on Jackson Road, you would have to become a member, and you can become a member by just going to the website Ann Arbor Women's Artists. Google that, and it'll pop up, and you can go to different information pages. You can apply for membership. You can pay for it online. You can find out what's going on. You can find out where all the venues are, when the next juried venues are going to be, and the prospectus for those, and where the non-juried venues are. Once you join, you have access to the artist's name and who's doing what and where and what committee they're on and what you'd like to get involved in.
Wow.
And it's all there's 2D, 3D work, fabric. Just if you can think of doing something and calling it art and you love it, there's a place for it.
There's a place for it?
There's a place for it.
That's awesome. I know I'm not very, artistically inclined, but I love looking at art. I love looking at all the different things.
You don't have to be an artist to join.
Oh, okay.
You can be a part of it and be supportive of it.
Okay.
And you don't have to produce, but you could be like on the committee, part of the management. Right now we need a treasurer. We've had, not that we don't have a great one, but we have a turnover.
Right.
It's expected because of people, new and upcoming opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you enjoy art, you could be a curator type person rather than a producer.
Right.
Or encourage other people, or an effective speaker that brings people out.
Yeah.
And to produce more work.
Right. And then I could take some of those classes, maybe get a little better.
Well, I don't believe there's anyone born that does not know how to produce art. The fact is they never been let go.
Yeah.
If I give you a couple of cans of paint and a canvas and a paintbrush and leave you go and you play and you'll find it. You find it just. It's a gift. It's innate. I think it's part of the primal need.
Yeah, I know. I've done the. I don't know. They have those events where people go and drink wine and paint.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times.
I do
with my
that at
mom.
home. I don't know.
You know? I've done those with my mom a few times, and I mean, it's not going to end up in the Louvre, but they're definitely, it's fun.
Well,
It's 2 hours. It's a blast.
There's not a whole lot of work I'm just working to get accepted. I'm just happy to be accepted to a jury.
Right.
Whether it ends up on a wall somewhere or not in a museum, that's interesting. I have family.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cousin. He would actually be like my third cousin Campbell during the Depression. He's got work in the museums, a few places.
Wow.
And I've looked really, really hard for John Stanley to find a link to him. He was one of the founding members of the pre-DIA.
Wow.
And he did a lot. He was never recognized in his lifetime for his work.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a lot of Western, like in Indian, Western 1830 stuff, 1840 and 1850 stuff that they did with the great Wild West and stuff, you know. But I haven't found a link to him. But his people from New York and mine are from the Virginias, so I'm kind of probably not. But it's interesting to think that it comes down through us.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know we got another clip here, so let's take a quick look at that, okay?
Sure.
All right. So that was just some more work of, that was CTN's artwork that we've had shown in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are some of the other venues, or the non-juried? Is that the right term?
Well, we have now I can't give you the exact addresses, but I do know we have the Women's Center.
Okay.
Here in Ann Arbor, and it's kind of a women helping women.
Right.
And the New Center, which is people helping other people. And then we have Moonwings? I can't remember for sure. And Sweetwaters, we have 3 Sweetwaters, okay. Ann Arbor, Plymouth, and there's another one in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I think there's 2. Carytown, maybe?
Yeah, and then we have the artisan markets on Sundays. My nose is making me crazy. The artisan markets on Sundays.
Okay.
And Rosie's and Joe's and Rosie's Coffee.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I haven't been to all of them. I stopped in and checked them out, but went about. I'm from the eastern side of the county.
Okay.
So I tend to kind of stick closer to that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a venue down in Milan, but I haven't talked to them yet. I haven't talked them into it yet. They go, "It's too far as I drive here." So anyway, we have there are 10 places where people show, and mostly in Ann Arbor, because Ann Arbor is very welcoming to art and new art.
Yeah.
It is very welcoming to it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and letting us know more about the Ann Arbor's Women's Artists group, and it's definitely been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more on Experience CTN. In the meanwhile, why not come in and experience CTN for yourself? Email ctn@a2gov.org for more info. To watch other CTN programs, visit us online at a2gov.org/watchctn, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook at CTN Ann Arbor. I want to thank our crew, Jason Broniak, Alicia May, Robert Horn, Justin Wright, Rich Musso, and I'm your host, Matt Drake. See you next time.